Today we are going to be learning about the impact of using blogs on college students' reading comprehension and learning motivation. This was an article that was taken from the New York Institute of Technology in Westbury, New York. The purpose of this study is to investigate whether students' reading level will improve if the students have the opportunity to use digital text with a blogging tool. This research was especially important for me working as a learning support reading instructor. I found that this information might be beneficial to me going forward, choosing textbooks in the future, and considering whether digital textbooks may be a benefit to my students. So how does this information continue along with previous research that has been done in the past? Well, there has been ample research which has investigated the instructional effectiveness of developmental reading courses, including enhancing students' metacognitive awareness, improving student study skills, and examining factors correlated with reading and academic performance. However, little has been done to examine whether or not developmental readers prefer interacting with digital text, whether or not the readers demonstrate superior comprehension skills through the use of dynamic new media technologies, whether or not reading in a multimedia environment requires many different types of literacy skills, and whether or not college reading professors are ready to adopt digital text in their courses. So now let's look at some specifics of the study. The researchers worked with 149 college students and 2 instructors to integrate blogs into developmental reading courses. The researchers collected and analyzed both quantitative data and qualitative data. So now let's talk a little bit about why this is important. Young adults in the digital age devote more time to accessing digital media information than information from traditional printed text. This change has been a factor correlated with young adults' negative reading achievement. 58% of middle and high school students use other media while reading, such as TV, music, computer, video games, and social networking tools. This habitual multitasking behavior has contributed to these students' short attention span and their reduced engagement in sophisticated reading tasks. As a result, this type of phenomenon has been associated with the lower reading scores and the lower comprehension abilities of recent college students. In other words, younger Americans read less and read less well. So it's important to know what we can do as instructors of developmental reading courses to be able to reach our students in an effective manner. The researchers saw a crucial need to examine how new media and online literacies affect young adults' college reading skills. Specifically, there were 2 points of interest. One was whether or not college developmental readers could better improve their reading skills and learning attitudes with digital text. And the second was how reading instructors perceive and respond to the change of new media integration, a web blog in this case, into a college reading course. So now let's take a look at the findings of the research. The results indicated that using blogs correlated positively with higher retention rate. However, the quantitative data in this study did not support the assumption that using blogs to enhance new literacies in a college reading context can have a positive effect on students' reading performance. In fact, the approach of mixing traditional teaching strategies with blogging activities might dilute the latter's effects on reading achievement. Blogging did have a positive effect on students' interaction with peers and corresponded to an improved retention rate in this study. Further qualitative data strongly suggests that the blogging activity enhanced students' sense of community and strengthened classroom rapport. Therefore, it did have some positive effects on the overall experience in the college classroom. However, impacts on reading were not very clear. Here you can see some more of the research findings, and you can see two of the different tables that I took from the research that I thought were important to share with you. Some of the information that is included in these tables show the difference between the GPAs and SAT verbal score, pre-compass and reading score on blogging and non-blogging students. We can see that the mean, average, and the standard deviations are not too dramatically different to ensure that there was a huge impact on reading ability. You can see that correlation of factors in the second table, table 6 as well. You can see that the GPA, SAT, high school GPA, first semester GPA, all of the information here shows a slight increase, but nothing substantial enough to show that this was something that affected students' reading ability overall. After considering the data, there were a few conclusions that I came upon. The first is that there wasn't substantial evidence to support the use of blogs in developmental reading classrooms in order to improve reading comprehension. There just simply wasn't enough evidence to support this theory. However, there was some evidence of increased motivation and a sense of community among the students. Considering the population of these types of courses, including a digital component, would be useful for student engagement. It is important that we get our students engaged. If having a blog is something that seems to help our students become more engaged in the course, I say, why not?